It's Michael André Ford, your American Angel Intuitive in San Antonio, Texas. It's super easy to let go, be in your heart, to get any answers for any questions, absolutely anything. And I don't see your questions, I don't see your answers. I've been doing this 10, 11, 12 years now, a couple thousand folks. People get to own it individually and then can grab a friend, a group, and do it collectively. There are photos of angels, you're listening to angels, you're meeting angels. Angels are in you and around you, and if you need to picture them as standing behind you with a hand on your shoulder, fantastic. If you're more the galactic type or the universe is really big type, picture them as in and around you, all shapes, sizes, and colors, all sorts of purposes. All of them are unconditional love. They don't want to interfere. So all you have to do is ask for the help and give yourself enough space to receive it. You don't have to get too into the woo-woo-woo spiritual thing, but if you're in a pinch, that's usually the type of person who I end up helping do a little more listening, letting go. Also, there's just people who are ready to give it a go, who are ready to expand. That's all this is additional growth and expansion. Our thinking says otherwise. There's a million reasons why this can't be. But if you really think about it, and none of this is really about thinking, you'll realize that there has to be something beyond human thinking. Human thinking results in the air pollution, hundreds of millions of other humans dying, the harm that we inflict on ourselves, others. The only time life and its little charms and love happens is when you're here. That's all this is about. So there's no desire for interference. There is a desire to assist. You're receiving unconditional love right now. You only have to pump the brakes and slow down enough to get back into the present moment. That's the intersection of everything. The consciousness crowd, the mindfulness crowd, the meditation crowd, the sports psychology crowd, all the scientists out there researching this or that. For humans, and maybe this is a decade away or 5 years away, the simple act of listening is what's available to us all right now. So if there's some scientist out there and they want to slave away for 20 years, they're going to do it. We've seen all of us knock our heads against brick walls. But you can just ask the universe, Einstein, a light being, a fairy, an angel, Mother Teresa, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha. Ask them a question, get an answer. You have no privacy, you're not getting judged. What are you willing to allow for? And this goes for your passed over relatives as well. They're with you, including your pets. And if you want to practice with your actual pet, they can hear you perfectly fine. You talk to them all the time. Are you listening? That's a Winnie the Pooh quote. Everyone talks to animals, no one listens. That's the problem. But that's also the problem in the sense that it's actually an opportunity. This is everyone's opportunity for growth. If the world was a perfect place and every satellite and every device and every person, all 8 billion people, wanted to meet angels and was up for just lightening up a little bit, a little less thinking, a little more gentleness, a little more compassion, a little less causing harm to oneself and others, we could get this done in 3 hours. I don't think anyone thinks that we all hold on to our reality so tightly. My situation is, my problem is, oh, I know that such and such group is bad, or I'm this way, or I don't do sushi. We limit all the time on everything. So I think just taking a breath, as Mother Teresa would say, compassion is like a deep breath for many. That's as far as many people are going to go out of their daily routine. They're up here and they're doing what they're doing. But the second you want, you can have that opening. Get to your heart. Some people, it's an entire lifetime or two. For others, it takes a car wreck, near-death experience. Others experience it when they do yoga, reading a book, cooking, getting a hug, giving a hug, on vacation. But it shouldn't take a vacation in Hawaii with feet in the sand. Just sort of lighten up, let go. Take a breath whenever you can remember. That's the opening. To quote Chogyam Trungpa, you can meet him as well. Mother Teresa, Chogyam Trungpa, Mary, Einstein, Sai Baba, the one from 100 plus years ago in India. Taking a breath is an act. It's like taking one step to opening awareness, opening openness, connecting your suchness to all with a capital A, out of duality to non-duality. I mix up everything. But the point of this is there's stuff up here and then there's extra awareness down here. Plato would tell you awareness is empowering. When you're down here, you have no limits. The heart is just connected to everything. That's when you were that amazing soccer player on a soccer field, one with the soccer ball. If it's a ladle in the kitchen or a grill or skillet, same thing. And you do it all the time, all day long, but you give yourself absolutely no credit for being in the moment. Flipping a light switch, brushing your teeth, walking through a doorway, turning left, You're actually an Olympic gold medalist in a million different ways each day. But the job of ego thinking, etc., is to compartmentalize, to keep you safe, to keep everything in perspective, and to prevent change. Change is a constant in and around you, from your cellular level, if we do the quantum physics crowd. And think of those folks as well. Do they really want their answers? You can have your cake, eat it too, no calories, and you can distribute cakes all over the world. Each cake equals a smile. This is big. And this is just more consciousness, more awareness, more love, more unconditional love, more universal love. I'll go out on a limb and say love is the fabric of the universe. You don't, again, have to have a near-death experience to figure this out. But let's go to what feels good, what doesn't feel good. You know when you have a good cup of coffee, it's a good cup of coffee. How the heck do you know? Do you have to bring in a scientific team to analyze your coffee? You stop the diner. You've paid $1 million and McKinsey and Company are coming in. They're going to do a 3-month survey on the cup of coffee and write a 1,000-page paper. Or do you just know and you say yum and you order another cup of coffee and you go back to that diner in the future? New Mexico Pinon coffee, Pinon, I believe it's a nut on a tree, but their hazelnut and now their maple walnut are absolutely my favorite coffees. So if you want a practical tip. But the bigger practical tip here is you're not alone, you're heard. Angels, guides, unconditional spirit guides, if you wish, Native American chiefs, Dolnay Fred Church, Geronimo, Crazy Horse, Chief Joseph, Black Elk, a lot of figures. White Buffalo Calf Woman is in there. You're loved. You're not judged. You do have to put yourself on a limb, and it's going to feel like you're taking a huge leap. But the leap is literally from here to here, out of thinking, out of structure, fear, worry, stress, knowing to the preclusion of possibility. That's most knowing, actually. The Jets necessarily aren't the best football team, but we stick to knowing. We stick to wanting to be stuck or to say my problem is. We judge people all the time. Even if that neighbor 5 houses down is a jerk, it's your energy and labeling that person a jerk that contributes to that situation, that contributes to your own negativity kind of festering around. If you could only see those flows every time, because everything you do is energy. Is it coming from here? Or most likely, is it coming from up here? Now, try not to worry about it too much. Thinking actually isn't going away. And a lot of our thinking, it's very fleeting. So it's just this much. It's neutral to a little bit of negativity. When you're in full hate mode, that's not good. So avoid the news maybe a little bit more. So the point of this is you can actually see your energy and you can actually figure this out a lot quicker. There's something going on up here that's generally a waste of energy, creates negativity. You're wondering why you got ill or why you're stressed out or why you can't sleep. Welcome to being human. But the being side of you, to be or not to be, Shakespeare, Einstein, the consciousness that's here, Joseph Campbell, meet Joe. The consciousness that's here is what it's all about. And you've never lost or skipped a beat. You've never lost a step. Doesn't matter what's happened to you in life. It doesn't matter how stuck you are, either financially, job-wise, relationships, you haven't met your soulmate. The real opportunity for growth here is just taking a time out. It's recognizing that most of our judgments are fleeting, ephemeral. I think I'm saying the right word here. If you can just do 7% less thinking, I'm quoting angels right now, less thinking a day, 7% less thinking a week, that's the Olympic gold standard here, Olympic gold medal. It's not much. It's an extra 100 pages, 50 pages, whatever you do in a couple hours of reading, snuggled up in the sunlight, a walk. Just try to give yourself a break. If you tackled this in some sort of crazy way with a clipboard, it's probably just more thinking. Ego loves structure. It's a false security blanket. It's negativity. Again, it doesn't want you to be in your heart. The scariest place in the world for all of us to go is pure openness in the heart. It would be like being at a concert, you get teary-eyed and you just are like, oh my God, I love Lionel Richie, Elton John, the Beatles, whoever. Name a more modern set of bands, Grimes, and so on. So you're plugged in. You've got full capacity to do hearing, feeling, seeing. Smelling sage, I blow lit sage through 2 screens. I'm here in Texas. People in New Zealand, Germany, Canada, elsewhere have smelled it. It's energy. Everything's energy. There's not really the time and space that you think. It's really a function of what will you allow for? How are you putting your poker chips down in terms of your stacks of thinking, your belief systems, your values? A lot of the stuff is junk. It just gets in your way. So I love those YouTube kind of marketing experts that are talking to you more on a business level. But if it's Steve Pressfield, Ryan Holiday having that chat in his podcast, The Stoic something, that is such a great podcast. They're spot on a lot of stuff. Listen to those guys. And hopefully I'm saying Steve Pressfield's name. Just Do the Work, or Do the Work, famous author, incredible. You are surrounded by unconditional love. It's within you and it's around you. It's the Yoda speech, the Force from Star Wars. Let go to appreciate all of this. It's also Esther Hicks, Abraham Hicks, The Alchemist, if you want. Universal forces are in place to help you out. You only have to tee this up and allow. Get out of your own way, drop into your heart, get a big catcher's mitt, and receive, receive, receive. Start with a little bit of allowing, allowing, allowing. Breathe, breathe, breathe. What will you allow for? Try not to lock up on any of these topics. So you can do full-on seeing. I've had a show host actually see, like Audrey Hepburn standing here, right in the middle of her show. Again, people do group seeing. You can see two angels and they leave a space between them. You can see Uncle Harry or Aunt Sarah. And then chat with them as well. They're cheering you on. What do you think half your good intuition's been? In the middle of your golf stroke, you're hearing punch it or whatever you do during golf. If it was actually their voices in the middle of a golf tourney, don't you think you'd probably shank the ball? So the goal here is not to freak you out. The goal here is not to get you to react and then clench the table. I've got a table right here. Clench the table more so you're kind of looking around scared like Christmas Carol, Scrooge at the beginning. He's hiding under his covers. He's not sure about the journey. The journey is as long as it's going to take from here to here. Some people punt for the whole lifetime. They think by slaving away or working super hard, disciplined manner, getting that 401k squared away, that's the whole point of the game. And it's not. It's to discover that there's more love in and around you and to share that love with others as fast as possible. And that's the soul's journey. And this could be 30 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes. Are you a fast learner, a slow learner? You're looking at an incredibly slow learner who is a super fast teacher. I have more war stories or fun stories that will make you laugh at my expense, and they're wonderful. I've been super lucky with the camera. Out of panic, I grabbed one early on and started snapping photos. I'm seeing, I'm hearing, I'm feeling, but I've got balls of light, not orbs, silhouettes, shapes, fairies, Play-Doh. You can meet a jinn who's East Asian mysticism, light beings, a lot of religious figures and not a lot of non-religious figures, your relatives, your passed over pets. But why not start with your dog? Just listen to your dog. Your pooch talks like a third grader. I got a blonde retriever behind me. All you have to do is listen. All you have to do is sit outside, sit under a tree, sit in a chair and take in no iPhone. iPhones are the big distraction. Let the iPhone be your Zen master these days. Go to the new show, Angels, Positivity, and Love. I've got these incredible experts. A lot of them are show hosts. Most of them are show hosts, healers, authors, great business people. 50-year meditation expert coming up this Sunday, March 5th. Paul Sugar has taught at Omega. Just incredible presence. His teachings, mindfulness teachings, are in 48 states in the U.S., public school systems. So millions of kids, particularly L.A. and Atlanta, Georgia. He is such a resource. He participated in the 1971 Stargate program briefly. I think he thought it was just research at the beginning, remote viewing stuff, but I think it was CIA controlled. Not to get into that too much, but as far as people have gone by the thousands that I've met, he has been one of the most stalwart, steadfast, enjoyable human beings I've ever met. He just sort of blinks, says, got it, what's next, for whatever the exercise is. Catching that sense of sage being blown through two screens to you, looking at a photo. Historical photos can move, wink, smile. A static photo shouldn't be able to move, but again, we're talking no limits. Getting a hug, asking for a hug, getting a hug, but getting a hug like 5 times in a row. You start to either tear up or yawn as you release all your tension. Even if you met angels, Mary, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, your guardian angel, and Uncle Joe, and Aunt Martha. A week later, you could still be completely stuck in thinking. Welcome to ebb and flow, the ebb and flow of life. So this isn't about words. That's usually just more egoic structure. This isn't about any one teacher. Forget me. You can just do this on your own. I have a little Listening to Angels book, $4.99 at Amazon, amazon.com/author/angels. Anita Morjani was super kind to do a book review. I'm planning on doing a 10th year kind of repackaging of this next year because it came out in 2014. So 2014, a little repackaging. But it's a super short book. I was seeing balls of light as I typed it. If you think I wrote it, thank you so much. But it's totally 100% angels. Go to my website, very first page of the website. Find the photo of Geronimo, Audrey Hepburn, Sai Baba. Just clear out. Get to your heart. Ask a question. Listen. Ask for a hug. Get a hug. Ask for the historical photos to move. Audrey or Sai Baba. You can meet the Sai Baba from 100 plus years ago. Mr. Miracles. Incredible. You can smell incense from India. Again, where are you putting your limits? Where are you putting your belief systems? This is just about a little more, again, openness, a little more gentleness, a little more embracing the power of now, Eckhart Tolle, or being in the moment. You're fully skilled already. You just have to allow for a little more oomph in the moment, a little more fun, a little more sparkle, a little more zip. So this weekend is Paul Sugar. He's episode 7 for Angels, Positivity, and Love. Airing right now is a New Zealand healer. Holy cow. For manifesting, she's got a new book, Super Manifester, coming out in June. Carmel Riley. Absolutely, absolutely fun. She had very defined personal life struggles going on. And when you hear her talk now about where she was putting herself, her ownership of how she was spending her energy, where she was putting herself. Let's do it a different way. If I walk down an alleyway and I get mugged, and someone tells me, well, I brought it upon myself for walking down that alleyway. It's how I was spending my energy. That's an awfully difficult concept. I would probably be combative about it and be like, hey, what are you talking about? I didn't deserve to get mugged. But there's another broader way to look at it in terms of your life path, where you're putting yourself. Are you walking away from a situation? Are you owning it? Are you accepting it as it is? Are you making changes? Are you engaging the situation? Eckhart Tolle talks about this very strongly. Byron Katie helps you at a tactical level get out of your thoughts, recognizing they're not absolute. Frank's a jerk, and maybe you were married to Frank for 30 years, and he's a jerk. But is your thinking absolute? Is it the most important place to be? Is it the best way to spend your energy? We're always getting back to the same crux, which is going to your heart, taking a breath. This is thinking everything from here and up. And this, on camera, is letting go, being in your heart, experiencing more of the flow of the earth, being human, the being human, the human being thing, connecting to all there is, better performance on the soccer field, better performance at work, better performance just you in the moment, better naps, better mindfulness, better consciousness, better meditation, better lucid dreaming. You can walk the Akashic Records with angels with your eyes closed. You can get visions that way. You can get your next book. If you're a business person, oh my God, business people are my favorite. Biggest spiritual crowd there is. They're disciplined. They know what they want. All you have to do is know the direction you want to go. Get your sales phone call list. Who are you supposed to call? What are you supposed to do? Should you enter into that business agreement? You can hear your guides and angels give you clear-cut advice. There's no lack on the level of detail. What are you going to allow for? You're going to put yourself out there? Are you going to be able to listen? You need to be at the level of, and I'm looking for a pen, the consciousness of a pen is all we're talking about. When you flip a light switch on the wall right there, are you worried about it? Are you beating yourself up a week later about flipping that light switch? No, you just took action with no thought. That's what this is all about. Your heart already knows how to listen, get a hug, see. This isn't really automated writing because it goes well beyond that. This is actually meeting universal love kind of figures. Really big ones that are more personal to you, and so on. So look, this is a lot to take in. I've got a book out there. I've got a new show. Check those out. Every Sunday they're coming out. And my YouTube channel is just youtube.com/@MichaelAndré Ford. So be sure to check out my new show, Angels, Positivity, and Love. Just to recap, that started January 2nd, and it's a show each Sunday on YouTube. No time limit or anything like that. The guest gets to come on. They're usually a show host, author, healer. In the case of the very first premiering guest, Diane Forster out of the San Diego area, she was 2020 Coach of the Year in California. She's an empath, author of I Have Today and a newer book that's fantastic. Her show is I Have Today. She's got great mantras in that show. Watch it a few times. Do the mantras with her. I use those mantras now when I go for a run. I have today, fill in the blank, to have a great run, to be escorted by angels as I run, to loosen up my muscles, to loosen up my mind, to breathe more, enjoy more, and so on. So that was the first episode. I was a little nervous. I thought we were at the hour and 10 mark. We were only at 43 minutes, so we signed off a bit early. The shows tend to be much longer. A lot of 2.5-hour shows, 2 hours, and so on. The next show is Amy Stark. She's a healer in Colorado. The Stark Transformation Show, 166 episodes, I think. Again, healer, Colorado, tons of energy, talks gratitude, mantras, and so on. You'll be able to figure this out in the shows, but they're worth watching in their entirety. The third guest is a former international ballerina out of Berlin State Opera, born in East Germany, but after the wall fell down, she joined the Berlin State Opera. So you can catch her in Swan Lake. I've put the link up on YouTube. I think it was 1998. Hope I got that date right. Suzanne has her own show, Point to Rise. Fantastic experiences in her life that she's turned around and cultivated wisdom on, so that she's got something to say for all of us. There's learning to be had from all of these guests. Their experiences can help us on our journey. The fourth guest is Mark Lanehart, host of a very successful show, Inspired Living. And so I think it ranks like 26th on the top 100 inspirational shows in both 2022 and 2023, thanks to FeedSpot's ranking system. If Oprah has a show, it's ranked 6th, and Brene Brown has a show ranked 62nd, Michelle Obama 66th. I think Michael Sandler has a show behind his, maybe ranked 28th or so. It's highly ranked. He does a great job. It's radio. He has a great voice, great presence, a lot of experience. He shares a lot with us. He got UK trained. He was 2020 Psychic of the Year. And so on. So again, check out his show. Be sure to subscribe there. Be sure to just watch his show. What I love is every one of these guests are going to have a different vibration, a different set of colors. But through each one of their lenses, or through each one of them bringing us their experiences, we actually get some expansion. And they've all met angels with me previously. So felt, heard, seen angels, even in the middle of one of their shows, seeing an angel behind me on their show. And then they get a chance. I put angel cards up, just photos of angels. They get started that way. Maybe they give us a message from one of the angels. We've been a little shy on this front. They might be putting their hand out. You can feel their energy. My only rule or structure for anything is just the following request. Angels, get me out of my head, into my heart, make it nice. Amen, rock and roll, thank you. If you're from India, Om Sai Ram. You got to own it. Set your intent. That's the only thing you ever have to practice. Angels, help me have the best cup of tea ever. So angels, help me out of my head, into my heart. Help me feel the vibration of the guest as they put their palm out to the screen. They're in Iowa, they're in Germany, they're in Ireland, they're in France. There's a lot of guests from all over. New Zealand. Feel the energy, and even if it's a year old, the video that you're watching that and doing it, it doesn't matter. There's no time and space. Okay, so the international ballerina was 3, Mark Lanehart was 4, Teresa Shantz, another healer, show host out of Iowa, absolutely fantastic. FeedSpot has her ranked, I think, 22nd overall for spiritual shows. And what else could I tell you? She just has a really high, broad, super supportive perspective. Incredible. You'll figure that out very quickly in episode number 5. Episode number 6 is from a healer in New Zealand, Carmel Riley, who I was I'm taping a second little segment to finish off the first one, and in between I got to just chat with her in New Zealand. First, she has a historical story. She's been through a lot of ups and downs in the past, and she's owned where she was putting herself. Those struggles were really intense. She didn't spend much time on them, but it would be very easy to come on the show and talk tons of detail of struggle and everything else. That's not the point of the exercise. It's what she did with what she was facing and how she converted, let's say, lemons into lemonade. Very powerful perspective. And she's got a book called Super Manifesting coming out in June. I recommend you check that out. I'm taking advice from her on something where I'm doing a dream board or a vision board. But also one of the other guests out there is doing the same thing on their own just coincidentally. And everyone's done a vision board, I'm sure, at one point or another, but I'm really getting into it and having a lot of fun. Check out her show. It's out. It just started February 26th, so it's only a day old or so, and it's hitting 100 views probably by tonight. And speaking of the channel, and by the way, March 5th is Paul Sugar, 50-year meditation mindfulness expert, taught at Omega at one point. Absolutely fantastic. He has done the most number of hours with me, just sitting, chatting, angels. Very expansive fellow, very seasoned. We couldn't have a better expert sharing wisdom with us on how simple everything really is. And lots of other guests, again, from Ireland, from Germany, from South Africa, from France, from New Zealand, from Canada, Portugal, plenty of USA folks, a lot of show hosts. So I think I've got 26 guests booked through July, and I'll be squeezing a few other extra ones in, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I've got a long list of people I want to invite that I think I need a track record till about June before I can do so. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes for the second half of the year. For the show, we've hit 500 hours of, we'll call it consumption of viewing, which is a lot in just a very short period of time. It was 10,000 views 4 days ago, and we just hit 20,000 views. So that's a lot too. I'm not sure how you're going to be able to see that. If you hit my about button on the front page of the YouTube channel, it's just youtube.com/the @ my full name, Michael André Ford. If you go to About, there's a bunch of information there, how to get the book, website, but you'll see the number of views for the site. I believe we've just broken 20,000. This feels right. With each additional show and tapings like this, it's going to go up and up and up. I think the main takeaway, no matter how many shows you watch, how many different ways you watch, is I'm going to try to say it this way. Whoever you think is amazing out there, whether it's on this show or elsewhere, a big name, Gary Zukav, Eckhart Tolle, Don Miguel Ruiz, you have the same heart in a way. You're unique and special, and you have a unique life path whether you've recognized it or not, and you have no limits whether you've recognized it a lot. But I guess I'm going to try to sum it up this way. You can love more and allow more, smile more, breathe more, give yourself a break more in each moment, each day, 20 extra times a day. Try not to judge it. Try not to give yourself homework. It's not about that. It's about this to this. And if you want a little bit of rainbow light in there from the Big Mary, or to see a pink ball of light whose joy, you can ask for that pink ball of light. Now, where we're linear is we'd say, oh, that's a pink ball of light, that's joy. But if you're sharp, bring it in for a hug. It's nonstop. Same thing with the sage smoke. We might just taste it in our mouth. A lot of people do that. Or if I'm as a guest on a show and the producer and the host or the two hosts have smelled the sage jointly, you might stop there. But that sage is, whether you want to call it plant medicine or angels bringing the energy through to you, that's healing light, a healing vibration. So go for it. Ask for a little healing on your elbow if you were just gardening yesterday, playing tennis, and it's sore. Ask for a general good vibe, feel a whoosh down your back. White sage is what we use to clear a home, a property, to clear your space energetically. You can read all about that. I think it's a Native American thing, spiritual thing. The point is, ask for that sage to go around your apartment, your dwelling, your home. Ask for it to go around your property. Ask Archangel Michael, angels, your guides. Ask light beings to come in and just zap the whole place with lots of light, compassion, unconditional love, gentleness, clear any negativity, what doesn't serve, and so on. We're not asking enough of ourselves and others, and I mean that in the highest intent. I just mean more love, more easiness, more easygoingness. We're not allowing enough, and that's clear. Look at the state of man and everything else. This isn't about global change, condemning people, telling people how to behave, taking away gas stoves or whatever we're talking about out there. The real crux of it all, and I don't want to give fodder for those folks, is we all do a lot of thinking. What we definitely don't need next is a bunch of thinking police. You get pulled over and given a ticket for thinking a lot. That's all of us. It'd be like trying to hand out tickets at the Indy 500. Welcome to being human. We do limits. We push limits on others. We push limits on our kids. You want to be a fantastic parent? Start chatting with your own angels. Learn yourself. Honor yourself. Love more. Expand more. Your presence alone will be the best parenting move you've ever done for the kids. If you want to meet your kids' guardian angels, boy, are you lucky. Age 5 and up, You're going to have a blast. What do they need to hear? Get the phraseology right. We all have 40 million trillion thought forms and a gajillion value systems. And if you lined up 8 billion people, almost all those thoughts and beliefs and judgments. Sushi is no good. Sushi is fantastic. They all cancel each other out. Very few absolutes. We're changing all the time. Everything's changing. Stuff comes and goes. Some stuff isn't meant to last forever. And the bottom line is the constant is love. And it's never left you, which is the craziest concept of all. Look at the movie Soul Surfer. Fantastic competitor. She loses an arm. It takes her a while to realize she's never skipped a beat, lost a step. You're already at your best right now. Start living that way. Start living. Just start living. Peaceful Warrior, the movie, especially the deleted scenes. Check that out. Fantastic book. The book won't ruin the movie. The movie won't ruin the book. Depends which way you want to go. Your ego's going to reject all of this, though. You might say, oh, I'm going to go check out Peaceful Warrior, the movie. Nick Nolte, Amy Smart, super easy to do. Touch a Zen. But you'll never get around to it. It's like cleaning the garage, starting exercise, New Year's resolution, and so on. The ego is there to keep you safe, looking at an iPhone and routine, security, safety. It's like that Night and Day movie when they tell you you'll be safe. We're taking you to a secure spot. You get in the vehicle with all the guards, and you're about to get executed. Your ego is there. It's a waste of energy. It's nothing to get hyped up about. But the second you start recognizing the difference between this and this, awareness, love, unconditional love, the universe, no limits, a million ways to say this versus a million ways to say that. As soon as you get it down and you start recognizing your own flows, then you can choose where to put yourself. It's not about situational drama. It's not about externals, people behaving a certain way. It's not about whether you have this job, that job, success, goals, all the externals. Get to here, sort out this stuff. Positivity, negativity, resistance, openness. Get to here. I think I can do this. Non-duality, duality. Get to here and watch your beautiful, unique life path unfold for you, and watch what happens now, because consciousness, universal consciousness, light, seeing light around you, seeing your own light as you're generating negativity or positivity, you can do that as well. You can see my aura if you want right now. Stare at my nose first, go to my forehead, and let my voice be like the most boring professor in the world. And I'll go on an old surf bodyboarding trip, start to see a glow around me. Put your hand up to the screen. If you want to see the glow come to your palm, I'd do it with angel photos on the front page of my website, or any of the shows where we put up the cards or the healer puts up their hand. Feel their vibe. Find a way for your psyche to allow for this. Tell yourself it's no big deal. Shrug it off, laugh, giggle, shoulder waggle, something to break your structure. The worst you could do is tighten up and deny it all and be like, oh, a bunch of bad people and all this stuff. That's just you reacting, and again, you get to meet your ego. So there's something up. There's more openness, there's more gentleness, there's more room for bringing in what you want to have happen, dreams, soulmate, career stuff, successful business decisions, personal decisions, more sports, healing, injuries. Some stuff's going to be written. That's a dialogue you get to have with your angel team. What did you sign up for this lifetime? Have it defined, but that doesn't mean you still can't get stuff handled for you in a better, bigger way. I think that's going to be it for this chat. Obviously, look for more of these. This is Michael André Ford in San Antonio, Texas, your American Angel Intuitive with photos of angels, but you just get to see with your own eyes fully, directly. So the photos are really just baby steps. And a lot of the stuff that I do, whether it's blowing sage, seeing energy on your hands, seeing energy between a friend and yours hands, you each do this and you see the light between you, or put your hand out and see the light between the both of you. Those are all baby steps towards letting go. Out of here, get into here. The best part of this all is when you're asking angels to make you butterflies made out of light all around you, sort of Disney-esque style. All of this, I think people can grasp the concept of getting answers. And I think they grasp the sense of intuition, that little voice that they experienced all their life. They've gotten help at different points in life. This is taking it to the next level. So if you're a business person and you're wanting to take your game to the next level, this is the ultimate way to do it. You're an author wanting to get your book outlined, the next few books, this is the ultimate way to do it. You just want to know where to go on vacation. This is learning to trust your higher self more, getting connected to your soul, accelerating your soul journey if you want to get technical, healing ceremonies, you name it. I think this is a conversation, though, you really want to have with your own crew. I just help people get jump-started and then hopefully step out of the way. Thank you very much. Michael André Ford, take care.